If you're a heating air conditioning technician or even a salesperson, is most sales training actually anti-sales training? This is a super important question. I'm Scott Sylvan Bell. I'm coming to you live for HVAC Technician Sales Secrets on a perfect day to talk about sales and a perfect day to talk about you. I'm coming to you live from Sacramento, California. So I want to go down this path with you, and I want to ask you a deep question that I've really pondered and thought about a lot. Is most sales training anti-sales training? Like, Scott, that doesn't sound right. But what in the world do you mean by that? So give me a second here and I'll help you explain. When you do most role play, when you do most sales training, you're preparing for aggression. You're like, you're preparing for battle. So here's what happens is, let's say that you roll into your sales presentation, you're talking to your buyer, you're talking to your client, you're explaining them issues, damage, worries, concerns, and they give an objection and they give a concern, which is perfectly normal in the world of sales. It's fine that they do that. But because you're now amped up and prepared for battle, right? Are they now amped up and prepared for battle? And this question really becomes super importante to you if you I just feel like I'm constantly fighting with people and I can't figure it out. I feel like I'm kind of creating some self-sabotage here. What it may be is a case of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, where when you sit down with a buyer, you're like, hey, I'm Scott. Let's talk about fun things. Let's talk about Hawaii. Let's talk about surfing. Let's talk about root beer. Let's talk about pizza and ribeyes and aloha shirts. And then the second that you get objections, and now it's like, oh, what? Now what do you want to talk about? Now what are we going to do? Like, there's a huge difference. And realistically, at the end of the day, you could be causing your own problems. And I want to let you know that I, Scott, have done this. I have made this mistake. And it's entirely possible that, yes, you have done the work. Yes, you have put in the effort. Yes, you know all of your word tracks, your scripts, and ways to overcome objections. But what if you're preparing for battle and you didn't need to? And this is why you should join my email list. I'll give you the goods, not in the Facebook group, not in the YouTube channel. Right here above my head, there's going to be a URL. Type it into a browser, drop in your name, your phone number, your email address. Super simple, super easy. Okay. So if you're like, hey, Scott, but are you saying to not role play? No, you freaking kidding me? No, I am telling you to role play, but it's how you make this process feel when you sit down with your buyer or client inside of an office building or inside of a home that really does matter. Because if you're prepared for battle, right, and you're like, I'm going to duke this out, you got to understand there's this thing called mirror neurons. And mirror neurons were discovered in the late 70s in Italy by a group of researchers. And what was happening is, you're not supposed to take food into an active site where you're doing research. And some Italian studies were eating some gelato. They're eating some gelato. And the monkeys that were hooked up in the lab saw the researchers eating the gelato. And in their brain, they were imagining that they were eating gelato too. And so you're like, what, Scott? Gelato, Italy, mirror neurons. What? Well, glad you stuck around. So let's say that you're meeting with your buyer and you've been this dude or this chick, just like I am right now, super calm, super easy. That's what they're seeing. So that's what they're going to project. And then you escalate. So what's the natural thing that they're going to do? They're going to escalate. And then your brain's going to go like, I'm looking at them escalating. I'm going to escalate. Then they're going to escalate. Then I'm going to escalate. And it becomes a fight. So sometimes in the world of sales training can become anti-sales if you're treating it like a battle. I would suggest, just me, I would suggest that here's what you do. You treat it like a conversation. You treat it like a yes and. You treat it like, you're just having a conversation right now. It's super cool, super easy. And it'll allow for you to not be anti-sales. It'll allow for you to be not aggressive. It'll allow for you to have conversations with your buyers. There you go. You got one of three things to do from here. Just one of three. Find the subscribe button, click on it. Every time I send out a video, you'll get an update. 2, hit follow. 3, share this video with a friend or tag them. They will love you. I will love you. We'll see you soon.